Really, really cute.
Hey everyone, Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here. It's 3:28. We do have a tornado warning just issued off to the south. We've been monitoring this thunderstorm around Greene County, Kentucky, heading into Taylor County. We zoom in on the particular area we are watching. This tornado warning in effect for mainly Taylor County and a small chunk here of Adair County, more than half of Adair County, I should say, until 3:45 for this afternoon. This is Eastern time, by the way, for the tornado warning itself. This thunderstorm cell moved across Greensburg in the past 15-20 minutes. We have reports of many trees that, in fact, were knocked down across Greene County as the storm passed that area. Now the rotation continues to show up as that storm is moving off to the east, a pretty good clip just south of Campbellsville. But it's this particular area where there's a little bit of a back building, if you will, of the winds. That's where we're starting to notice some of the stronger rotation now developing. We show you that here on the radar loop. What we're looking at is anywhere you see the reds, or in some cases very light pink or bright white, that is the wind that is blowing away from the radar beam at Fort Knox. Where you see the green, that's where the wind is blowing toward the radar beam. When we see this close together like this is where rotation is very strong, and it's still indicative anyway that we could see some potential for at least a funnel cloud, if not potentially a tornado that could drop down out of here. The problem with this is that it is very much surrounded by a lot of heavy rain at the moment here across Taylor County. So a lot of the damage reports we were getting after the storm leaves, and that's trees being knocked down, and that's all we really know at this point, since it's very difficult for emergency personnel to really indicate visually what is happening here. But we are monitoring this carefully as it's tracking across the central portions now of Taylor County, and will likely clip the northern part here of Adair County the next few moments. In addition to that, we've noticed the track on this holding steady to the east and to the northeast, producing a lot of lightning as well. Very heavy rain and intense lightning moving through the area, and some of that can cause even more problems as well. It is raining in some areas, about 4 inches per hour. So this is surrounded by a lot of heavy rain as well as it moves through the area, and again obscuring that view around the region. Let me get you back here to the other view on the back into the rotation, and kind of get you back to up to speed here on the rotating part of this storm that we are most concerned about. If you're just now flipping the TV on, your weather radio is going off, or your Wave 3 News weather app is going off, you're trying to figure out what is happening. The latest is at the moment, this is so far as being a radar indicated tornado warning that has been issued for portions of Greene County into actually Taylor County now. It's out of Greene County. So in Greene County, you are officially in the clear, but into Taylor County, in the northern parts here of Adair County, that is where we're still dealing with some of these stronger winds at the moment being indicated here on the radar. The expiration of this warning, the tornado warning itself, is not going to kick in 45 after the hour. So we've got about a good 15 minutes here of this storm moving through. I see another warning has just now been issued across our northern counties here as you head into portions of it looks like portions of Marion County into Washington County. Let me take you up into there real quick and kind of keep an eye on that storm as well. This particular storm across portions of Taylor County, by the way, is the one we're most concerned about. But a new warning just came in a few moments ago. This looks like it's in effect here for portions of Marion and the northern half of Taylor County until the top of the hour. This one has not shown as much of a sign here when it comes to rotation, but we are monitoring that, because anytime you get these little wiggles in this line of thunderstorms that is passing through, it doesn't take much to get any type of a brief spin up that can take place. This is not a setup, by the way, where you get large tornadoes or anything like that. These are very relatively brief and weak type of tornadoes that can spin up, but a tornado is a tornado. It can cause damage. So if you live right now in Taylor County or in portions of Adair County, you need to go ahead and get into your safe spot. If you can, get into lowest level of your home, as we are tracking the storm moving on the south side here of Campbellsville over the next few moments, and that's where we're still seeing that rotation. Let me get you another scan here. Another update will be coming in here in just a second on this particular scan, and be able to see, when we loop it here, and be able to see in the past few moments as it moved in across portions of Greene County. We had those trees that were knocked down. You see the report that pops in there on your screen. That's when the trees were knocked down. I don't know the size of trees or anything like that, but that's the only damage report so far we've been able to develop out of this system. But it is moving into an environment here where it's still quite warm on the eastern side here of Taylor County into Adair County. Because of that, that isn't just enough of your fuel here to really keep these things going. The problem is with that heavy rain band on their southern flank, it's really causing some problems there around the area. All right, let me stop the radar loop here and get you back to the actual radar beam so you guys can see what I've been looking at here across the area, and that's where we're seeing a lot of the heavy rain surrounding the rotating part of the storm. Look at the loop here and be able to see that a lot of lightning, first off, moving over the area. per hour at the moment, moving across Taylor County. Adding insult to injury here because you get the flooding rains, the ground is saturated. Yes, it doesn't take much for trees to get knocked down, and it's kind of a scenario even with just some of these outflow winds developing here in the leading flank here of the actual storm on the south side of Campbellsville here at the moment. I'm going to step aside here for just a second, look over and see if we got any reports that are coming in here as of last check, and we'll continue to monitor that as the storm itself continues to move through the area. Here's the latest. Let me see if I can get another handle on. Give me stand by for 1 second here. Again, if you live into Taylor County, especially the northern part there of Adair County, mainly south of Campbellsville. If you lived in Greensburg, you likely experienced a storm a few moments ago. Past your area if you're able to do so. If you picked up any type of damage out of that thunderstorm as it passed your area into Greene County, but as of last check, the only wind reports we're having just in the south side of Greene County itself. South side of Campbellsville's the latest check. The way as you move into portions of I'm going to get you back to hopefully that scan, let it pop in here of Adair County in the past few moments that came out. And we're going to see these damage riding through here that is showing up. We were noticing that on the velocity a few seconds ago. So this is more of a straight line wind potential, more than likely a little bit of a gust front that is developing out of this rotating part of the storm here that can knock some trees down just north of Columbia. So I can understand down, so it'll trigger this severe thunderstorm warning here will kick in just a second. In effect for northern areas of looks like Adair County until about the top of the hour as well. And there's that tornado warning, and then we got the severe thunderstorm warning located on the northern flank just in the south side of Lebanon. If you live in Newmarket and Bradfordsville, this segment right in through here, a little bit of a bowling segment here, that's where you can likely see some winds approaching that 60-mile-per-hour range that we'll be monitoring. What we see here, a little bit of a wiggle. Notice that it bows outward into Marion County, then goes inward as you head into Taylor County. It's an inward motion riding through that little notch. That is where we have noticed some of that rotation that has been developing here. It's a part of this line that is moving across our southeast corner of wave country. It's calming down behind it, but it's this line here that's going to be the most intense over the next few moments. I'm going to get you another look here on the velocity. Again, we're monitoring that carefully. The only way we can really tell what's happening in these situations is the radar data as the storm is passing through, because with so much heavy rain surrounding it, we just don't have a lot of ground truth at the moment. But you need to take these situations as if it is developed, has developed, and is on the ground. You got to just react that way and hope for the best that this is elevated rotation and not going to reach down to the ground, which in many cases that's what happens in wave country, and that's good. But sometimes we're not as lucky, and you need to react just in case. I will say this, the latest rotation scan does not look as impressive as it was earlier. That's a good sign that it's likely beginning to lose a little bit of its rotating ability as it's moving into now right on the county line here of Adair County into Taylor County. We're not seeing those bright light pinks or even white color that was on the radar a few moments ago. We're not seeing that as much as what we were earlier. In fact, when you animate that, you'll be able to see what it looked like for a while as it crossed out of Greene County into Taylor County, right in through here, and is now tracking right on the border on the northern flank here. I know we got a lot of rivers and lakes in that area. That's like another alert coming out. This looks to be a flood alert, by the way. A lot of colors on this map. I understand there's a lot going on. We've got not only the rotation we're watching, but we've got very heavy rain, gusty winds surrounded on the north side and the south side, and we've got some intense lightning movement through. So this is a very messy setup here on the southern part of wave country. Not a good time at all to be out and about. I know it's the 4th of July holiday and everyone's trying to enjoy things, but this is not the kind of weather we really want on a holiday, but we got to take what we got here. The rotation continues to ease off to the east. Let me check the latest reports from our storm spires we have out in the field. And so far, it is really quiet. I'm not hearing a whole lot, which is good. The only thing I will say about that is we've noticed these scenarios when we have a lot of heavy rain that surround these thunderstorm cells. It's the problem is that really a lot of the damage, if there is any type of damage, even just a tree down, doesn't get relayed until about 30 minutes after the storm has passed to give us some ground truth of exactly what had happened because it's just too dangerous and too noisy, too rainy, really, to get out and about, even for the emergency personnel. So it's a little bit of a challenge here. The radar signature just shows the tremendous amount of rainfall and the intense lightning that is moving through. Let me back the radar up just a bit off to the west so we kind of get a better handle here how this storm is progressing here as it's moving off to the east. A pretty good clip. It's almost out of wave country, in fact. It's about to move into Casey County in the next few moments. If you know friends in Casey County, give them a ring. Let them know that there is a strong thunderstorm that can easily knock some trees down coming into their community here in the next few moments. I will say the good news is that the rotating part of this is not as impressive as it was. So if you're listening to us right now, got the TV turned up loud and you're in your safe spot, stay in your safe spot for just a few more minutes, and then you can get the kids out and enjoy the rest of your evening here, all right? So we've got just a few more minutes here to monitor this as it's moving through, and we're keeping a very careful eye on it as well. Flash flooding, I mentioned before, is also a hidden danger that's developing out there. We always say this a lot, you know, turn around, don't drown, and we mean that in a big way. All right, let me point out a couple things real quick here. Notice here on the southern flank, riding through here, this is where I'm noticing some of the outflow winds now beginning to develop, and this is the part that is moving into the northern flank here of Adair County and eventually into portions of Casey County as a whole together. So I could see why that warning was issued. It wouldn't surprise me that this could in fact be doing a little more wind damage than other parts of the cell that is happening right now across portions of Casey County. Let me get it back over to the wind velocity, and we'll watch that carefully as it moves off to the east. Yeah, that circulation is not looking nearly as impressive as it was. Great news on this, guys. Still looks to be mainly just a outflow type of wind with some wind damage potentially blowing outward here. All right, we're going to keep an eye on this thunderstorm. We've got about another 5 minutes left on it as it moves through. I'm going to stay with you guys. I know you guys are probably concerned if you're listening in your safe spot. I want to make sure that this circulation doesn't try to cycle, as we call it, cycle up again and reappear in the last few moments before it moves out of the county. So just hang tight with me for just a little bit longer, and we'll get you back to programming and get you on here with your holiday. But it's, the strong damaging winds is what I'm most concerned about as it moves to the area. This is from our newsroom. Okay, thanks, Jeremy. Which newsroom has been in touch with the emergency personnel in the Campbellsville. And of course, Campbellsville really has been on the northern flank the entire time, which is good. But the main core of that cell's to the south. So it wouldn't surprise me. We had damage reports here across Greene County with some trees being knocked down. Wouldn't surprise me to see a very similar setup across southern Taylor County as the storms move through. But this is becoming more now of a opened wave of wind that is tracking across the northern flank here of Adair County the next few moments. Hold on 1 second. Got a report that just is popping in here. Okay, they are going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning as the storm is moving downstream. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for here now, guys, because it looks like the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire because the rotation, as you guys can see here behind me, just has not held together. Great news on that one. Let's hope it stays that way as we get through the rest of the afternoon. Still some severe weather being found, though, up and down this line. Damaging winds anywhere from Lebanon all the way down into Columbia in the next few moments. So be careful out there. And here in Louisville, by the way, just a general rain that continues to fall. We'll have much more on the stormy setup today on Wave 3 News, beginning at 5.
It's so beautiful.
Sheriff's Department, but we did just get a report in of a funnel cloud on the eastern side here of Taylor County. So they have decided, instead of going with a severe thunderstorm warning, they have reissued the tornado warning in effect for just a very small part here of Adair County as it's about to cross into Casey County the next few moments. So let me backtrack and show you guys the latest alert here that we have here. This again is the tornado warning that is going to be extended, and let me draw this a little further off to the east. You'll be able to see what I'm referring to if it'll trigger here. Give me 1 second. Things a little picky here for me, but it is tracking off to the east, a pretty good clip. So for those of you, I would say around portions of, say, eastern side here of Taylor County all the way into Casey County, riding through here. And once again, that has begun to cycle back up again, and that's the reason why we have noticed that we have picked up a little bit more of the rotation trying to come back, but it's that funnel cloud spotting that has triggered the warning to be issued. Let me zoom it back here to the west just a little bit longer. You see that back bend here. Anytime we see that little wiggle in that line, that's what we're going to watch for. And there has been a slight cycling up, nothing dramatic. So again, this is the only report we've had, and this funnel cloud report very well have already could be a situation where it developed and could already have gone back up into the cloud. So we want to err on the side of caution on this. So in case you guys are in Adair County and you're thinking, wait a minute, I thought this warning was going to expire at 3:45 and you're hearing the sirens go off again, this is the reason why. is that funnel cloud sighting as it crossed into Taylor County. Taylor County, you guys are in the clear. So if you can hear my voice now, you're just basically dealing with heavy rain. The tornado threat for Taylor County is over. It's now just the northern part here of Adair County as it's about to cross into Casey County. I'm going to hang out for just a few more minutes on this one and monitor this as well. Make sure it doesn't cycle back up again, especially now that we're getting a funnel cloud sighting. We want to take this seriously as we can. So if you live in the northern part here of Adair County, this is northeast, by the way, of Columbia. Get into your safe spot, lowest level of your home. An interior room is the best place to be into as well. We always say that. And a lot of you are not able to have basements, so just keep in mind as you are in that area that you need to make sure that just to get into your interior room away from windows is the key on that. Clementsville is on the outer flank of that. This is still more of a gust line of front, gust front here across the leading edge with some damage and wind potential into that area as well. This thunderstorm cell as it's moving out to the east, a lot of lightning here as well being indicated, a lot of heavy rain. And by the way, in Louisville, for that, you guys are wondering, just heavy rain here, in case you're wondering why I'm on, it's not because of what's happening in Louisville, it's all what is happening to our south and southwest. We get the radar back to the very beginning and get you back actually to the home view, and you'll be able to see that this lightning is very tremendous off to the south and east, but it's that little bit of that wiggle effect that we are having on the southeast corner here of wave countries where we got these severe thunderstorms that are continuing to produce at least the potential for some damage and winds and perhaps even a brief funnel cloud report. So I got to stress the one in Taylor County. You guys are in the clear now in Taylor County. It's just a small little area here of Adair that we are keeping an eye on. So let me zoom into that just real quick here and show you guys the very latest thinking on that one as it's moving through the county. It's moving into Casey County, so it's about out of wave country entirely. It's right over Clementsville, but see how it goes upward here and then bends back and then bends back out again. It's right in here, this little notch. This is what we're tracking that can easily produce brief spin-ups, and it's not uncommon to see that happen. It's kind of a scenario. If in fact you were to look at this in a more of a shape, more like a letter type shape, you'll be able to see that we do have the ability here to see almost like a little comma that is developing here. It starts right in here across Adair County and then it wraps up riding through here, and this is the reason that little comma shape is what's leading to that circulation right now that at least at the moment is causing the tornado warning to be extended just a few minutes longer there off to the east. Don't forget, you guys around portions of Marion County as well started the severe thunderstorm warning for the next few moments. In case you guys are wondering, this tornado warning for Adair County is going to expire at the top of the hour, but we're not going to make it to that point. You're going to be completely in the clear before we get to that point. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and send it back now to our program. The storm, the circulation now, from the way it's looking to me, has moved out of wave country and is now moving outside of our area and into Casey County. If you live in Liberty especially, just a heads up for you guys in Casey County that this storm has at least produced a funnel cloud the past few moments, and we want to keep a careful eye on that as it moves off to the east at a pretty good clip at the moment. The severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County, by the way, will expire as well coming up at the top of the hour. So stay in your safe spot in Casey County, northeast Adair County. You're in the clear at the moment. It looks like the storm now is moving into Casey and heading toward Liberty the next few moments. We'll keep an eye on it and break back in if anything else develops. Keep it right here on Wave 3 News.
Transferable warranty means you're